But at the end of the day, it is like I said, put the fight on.
Hey, Wack, hey, yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So Devin Haney, after his fight with Brian Norman Jr., in the post-fight interview immediately after the fight in the ring, you know, he said in 2024, I lost everything. 2025, you know, I came to get my respect back. And then 2026, I'm coming for it all, right? And so I've seen that Bill Haney has been recently ramping up and aggressively calling out Rolly Romero and trying to set the stage for that fight. And it makes sense for him doing that because based off of what Devin Haney said, we know how Devin Haney moved when it comes to trying to get belts and fight champions and become undisputed. When he set his mind on something like that, he actually goes after these things. And with Rolly Romero being a world champion at 147, coming off of a big win over Ryan Garcia, right? It makes perfect sense to go after Rolly Romero and unify the division, right? So that'll be an immediate unification match. So your first fight at 147, you fight the number one fighter in Brian Norman, world champion, WBO. And then you immediately go and you fight Rolly Romero. And let me just pull up because I want to make sure that I have all of my information correct, right? So let me pull up the champions at 47 right now. So let's go Ring Magazine. I'm so glad that Turki Al-Sheikh took over Ring, bro, because I feel like he's doing it justice. The lineal champion and the coverage from Ring, I feel like all of that is in good hands right now. You know, the rankings, the coveting and prestige and tradition of the lineal champion and just the coverage from Ring Magazine. I think, you know, when you call something the Bible of boxing, it should have a high level of integrity and there should be quality across the board with how you cover fighters, fights, news about boxers, anything, right? So shout out to Turki Al-Sheikh for taking over the Ring. All right, so looking at the Ring, right? Welterweight, the Ring championship is vacant. So because that was Jerron Boots Ennis, but he's since moved up. And since then, number one and number two haven't fought yet. So there's no lineal champion at 147 right now. But Mario Barrios holds the WBC. Rolly Romero holds the WBA. Lewis Crocker holds the IBF. And then Devin Haney holds the WBO. So there's history with Rolly Romero and Devin Haney, of course. They all came up in that same era. Rolly, Devin, Ryan, Shakur, Tank, all these guys came up. Some older and younger than the others, but they all pretty much came up in the same era, right? And Rolly Romero has always had choice words to say about Devin Haney, how, you know, he's pillow-fisted, how he's just not good enough, and so much rivalry type of hate and dislike going on between the two. Devin Haney has said his things about Rolly Romero, thinks that he's a trash fighter, thinks that he doesn't belong at the elite level. Well, Rolly Romero has accomplished something that even Ryan Garcia hasn't accomplished yet. He's become a world champion, right? So now they all meet at 147. And it makes sense for Devin Haney if he's intent on going and unifying the division and becoming undisputed. Why not go immediately to a unification match with Rolly Romero? That's an easy fight to sell. Like I said, the history, the fact that Ryan Garcia is about to fight Mario Barrios for his title. So if Ryan Garcia wins that fight, then you can have an immediate rematch and unification with 3 titles on the line in 2026 versus Ryan Garcia. Whoever wins that fight, if Rolly wins, then he immediately goes into a rematch with Ryan Garcia, 3 belts on the line. Devin Haney beats Rolly Romero, he immediately goes into a mega fight with Ryan Garcia. Hopefully he's clean and makes weight this time in a unification match with 3 titles on the line. So it's big stuff at stake for both fighters. Because again, if Ryan Garcia can beat Mario Barrios, this would be his first official world title, and he would immediately be going into a situation where he could be unified champion, right? So you go from never ever winning a title to in the same year potentially becoming a unified champion. Some great shit, right? And so I think what Bill Haney is doing right now is phenomenal for the division because 147 is lackluster right now. And so I think these guys are the perfect names to get the division popping again. And Devin Haney, I think he matches up well with Rolly Romero, with Rolly having slow feet stuck in the mud. He got to plant his feet hard to get everything off, all his big punches off. He got to plant his feet, and, he swings wide and wild sometimes. You can see the punches coming from a mile away, but to give Rolly Romero credit, he's been looking good. He looked good in that Ryan Garcia fight. He was very patient. He was very disciplined with holding his right hand up to stop the left hook. We seen how sharp Devin Haney's left hook was versus Brian Norman. So I think Rolly Romero being disciplined on that 36-minute call, that'll be very beneficial for him in the fight versus a Devin Haney. So I think that Rolly presents some things to Devin that could be dangerous, like the power, the strength. He has good physical strength on the inside. He has power with the left hook. He has a good right hand, a overhand and sweeping right hand. Though it can be wild and reckless, that might even benefit him, the awkwardness of the punch. Sometimes the opponent can see that shit coming from a mile away, but if he lands either the left or the right, Rolly Romero has the power to hurt anybody at the division, I believe. So there's definitely some dangers that Rolly Romero present to Devin Haney. But I think this is a great matchup for Devin Haney. I think the foot speed, which is one of Devin Haney's biggest strengths, is going to be kryptonite to a guy like Rolly who stick his feet in the ground and have to plant so sturdy to let anything off of significance with his offense. And Devin's ability to move around the ring and be elusive, I think that's going to give Rolly Romero issues, because I really never seen Rolly Romero walk somebody down and cut the ring off with great footwork and precision and angles. Like, everything is just so stationary and flat-footed. And that's one of the biggest issues that Brian Norman had. And I think Brian Norman's feet is way better than Rolly Romero. I think Brian Norman's ability to set up his shots is way better than Rolly Romero. So I think this matchup is a great matchup for Devin Haney. But again, it's one of those things where Devin Haney going to have to be sharp. He can't go in there treating Rolly Romero like he trash, like he did Ryan Garcia, looking at him like, oh, he not on my level. No, you got to go in there and treat him like he a monster so you can perform at your highest level. And I think if Devin Haney takes that approach, this should be a fairly easy victory for Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? If he's as sharp as I believe he can be. But, he going after, that's what Bill Haney is aiming for, unification with Rolly Romero. And again, this sets up big things in 2026, because that leaves opportunity for a unification match with the winner with Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. And who knows if Lewis Crocker will have that belt by the end of 2026. I haven't seen that guy fight. He's 20-0, 11 knockouts. So honestly, I have to go see what he got going on if he's able to hold on to that title, that might be something that the winner out of these next upcoming matchups can look towards unifying for Undisputed with him either late 2026 or early 2027. So like Devin Haney said, man, he's coming for it all. And I think what Bill Haney is attempting to set up is in alignment with what Devin Haney said he's looking to do in 2026. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. How do y'all feel about a Devin Haney versus Rolly Romero matchup? Do you think Rolly Romero will take that fight? Because he has said some interesting things, you know, leaning towards not being, you know, not really having any interest in fighting Devin Haney. You know, kind of like pushing Devin Haney to the side like he's not worthy of a fight with him all of a sudden. But, you know, do y'all think Rolly will take the fight? And if he does, how do y'all see that playing out? You know what I'm saying? Do you think Devin Haney could beat Rolly Romero and then go on and do all of the things that he is aiming to do in the year 2026? Man, y'all let me know down in the comments, man. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.